This event was for my 22nd birthday. So coming into my birthday, I'm like, all right, I'm not gonna throw a birthday party. I'm at a I never had birthday parties since like I was a little kid. And maybe when I was 2, I had my last birthday party. So I was like, man, I've never been a birthday party type of guy. But also, I want to do something to celebrate, and why not have a good old time with some good people? So I'm like, all right, instead of throwing a birthday party, let me throw a quote unquote networking event. Hey everyone, welcome back to the Walk to Wealth podcast. If you're tuning in on YouTube or any of the podcast directories, make sure to do yourself one teeny tiny little favor and make sure to give us a follow because I don't want you to miss out on any of the amazing episodes that got coming on this year. Without further ado, let's get right into this one. So if you've been keeping up with the series, I've told you guys so far how I threw my first event, my 100th podcast episode event, and then my first happy hour networking event. And all those events, even though they turned out pretty well, I didn't really put much preparation or thought into like throwing them. And not to say that I didn't try it on. I was just going by the, just winging it. But like I definitely could have put more preparation and did more marketing and promotion to get people in the door. So this event I did that I'm going to talk about for this episode was for my 22nd birthday. So coming into my birthday, I'm like, all right, well, I'm not gonna throw a birthday party. I never had birthday parties since like I was a little kid. Like maybe when I was 2, I had my last birthday party. So I was like, man, I've never been a birthday party type of guy. But also, I want to do something to celebrate, and why not have a good old time with some good people? So I'm like, all right, instead of throwing a birthday party, let me throw a quote unquote networking event and just invite a bunch of people to come and celebrate, and just calling a networking event as a cover up. And so I'm thinking, all right, my birthday is always on Labor Day weekend, and usually people travel or they're spending time with their families. So I can't throw it the day of, and I can't throw it the week after my birthday because then it's like my birthday's already passed. So it's like I might as well just do it before. So I ended up doing it. It just so happened that my birthday, I think it was on a Saturday last year, and Thursday was August 31st. So it was literally like 2 days. Like my birthday's on a Saturday, and then this event I was gonna throw on a Thursday. As I said, Wednesday and Thursdays were always my go-to days, so it ended up lining up perfectly, and that was the thought around like why I threw the date for the venue. Again, I was gonna book Sign the Whale. Again, now this time hosting my event at Sign the Whale, I'm no longer working there anymore because now I already had launched my course, and so I ended up putting my 2 weeks in. So it was probably already a month after I left and stopped working at Sign. But I wanted to go back, one, because like the venue's dope. Two, one of my favorite bartenders is gonna be there, so I know I had to go to Sign the Whale. And three, also my friend M, she's the event coordinator. She was the event coordinator, so it's like boom, like perfect. It's easy to schedule and yada yada yada. So I ended up this time around. I remember I was coordinating with M. I was like, yo, this time let's plan for 40 people. She was like, John, are you sure? The last time you had 30, you planned for 30, and that ended up being well. And I was like, yeah, but this time I'm gonna get more people. Like I'm gonna get at least 40 this time. So let's plan for 40. So it ended up costing a little bit more money and to book, but the way we had it set up, I had to put a card down um, to have on file, and then I didn't have to make any deposits of any sorts. I just paid in full after the event. So I'll get into that a little bit later. So boom, we scheduled. I talked to M again. I wanted to do the 2 drinks for beer and wine and appetizers. Same thing I did last time. So I was good. I'm not reinventing the wheel when I'm coming in planning these events. I'm just following the playbook that's already worked for me several times prior. Right. So boom, 2 drinks, appetizers. This time around, I was gonna charge $25 for the tickets. Again, yeah, yeah, I was charging 25. I think either 25. Let me double check for you guys really quickly. I think for this event, yeah, I charged 25 for the tickets, and for this event, so I used Mixly for this event. My last happy hour, I used SimpleTix. I'm not too sure as to the reason why I chose Mixly. I think what it was is that Mixly, when people RSVP, it shows a guest list, but for paid events, it doesn't. So I think I just use Mixly so people can like, it's kind of like a social proof thing. If you see other people that you know that have already gotten their tickets, it's gonna make you more likely to get your ticket. It's like, oh, so and so is gonna be there. I know so and so, but I realized during this event that um it doesn't do that. So Mixly does do paid tickets, but it doesn't show the RSVP, like who's attending on those when the tickets are paid. It only shows that who's RSVP'd when the tickets are free. So I didn't know that, but long story short, it's all kind of like the same thing. I ended up using Mixly before, so I just used them again. And then from there, what I ended up doing was, um, in terms of promotion, here's where I really went all out. I started promoting well in advance. And so what I did to help get spread awareness to the event, so I had ChatGPT generate me some video scripts to help promote the event. And I ended up reaching out to some of my peoples. Was like, hey, would you be down to collab on a video with me? And so I sent them the script and told them to record themselves, saying the script, and then send it back to me. And then I recorded myself saying the same exact script, and then I sent that to my video editor at the time. And then he edited it and make it look like a super fire collab. And then I would post them on IG, tag them in the video, or tag them as a collaborator, or just tag them regularly to the post. And then from there, now people see these other people, and now I'm tapping into their audience. Plus, I hit them with a good old reliable VIP guest method that I mentioned in the last video, or the last episode, where I had a bunch of people's headshots that I know were gonna be there, my peoples, my core peoples, and I made them VIP guests, put that on my story, and tagged them on the story. And so I had a bunch of different people tagging me and tagging the event, and just spreading massive amounts of awareness going to that. At the same time, as always, whenever I throw an event, I always text people. So I texted a bunch of people that I know like have come to my events in the past before, and even people who I haven't come to my events in the past before, but I just know and I have their number. And I'll send out email. So this was like by far like the most promotion I put into any event leading up to it. Like this one, I actually went all out. This time around, as I said, I was tagging people. I was asking them to share it with their friends. And in terms of like booking, whatever, as I said, Sign the Wheel's already a restaurant, so I didn't have to worry about catering or alcohol. They already have everything in there. I had my friend Jada help out with the check-ins, and then I believe my boy Gio helped sponsor for that event, if I'm not mistaken. I think Giovanni sponsored. It may have been him and one other person, but I don't remember. Yeah, I think it was Gio and Brandon that may have sponsored. Um, but I could be mistaken. Overall, from this event, I think I came out of pocket a couple $100. Nothing too major. Um, Especially because like the ticket sales pretty much covered most of it, and then with the little bit I made from the sponsorship money, like I didn't create like some fancy god tier like sponsor packages or anything like that. It was like something small. I forget what exactly I did. And then as for my videographer, my boy Christian came in clutch. He brought the drone this time around because he wasn't busy. He brought the drone around. He had someone else taking photos, and like we had a section in at Sign, and we had like maybe like a third of the bar, and like we were packed shoulder to shoulder because we planned for 40, and by the time of the event, we already had like 44. And then from there, I think we ended the event in total with 57 tickets sold. I think we probably had like 60 people at the event. I think a couple people got in without having to pay for a ticket. I'm not 100% sure, but I think because there was definitely more than we had tickets that we were giving out for everyone to have for their drinks, and we ran out. So there's definitely more than 60 people were there, and it ended up being a super dope event, great time. Because there were so many people at the event that we didn't expect to come, I was busy hosting, like helping out with tickets and just trying to make sure everything is fun, like fine. So I didn't even get to enjoy the event until the event was over. Like once the event, so my event was like 6 to 8 p.m. I didn't get to start enjoying the event until like after 8. And a lot of people ended up staying late again for this event. This was, as I said, a super good time, good people. There was a DJ there as well. I didn't have to get the DJ. DJs normally come on Thursdays. At least in the summer times, I'm not mistaken, I signed the whale. So that was a huge plus. And as the weather was super amazing. That's one thing you can never plan for with events, especially if you're doing like a event in an open setting on a rooftop. That's always like the worst thing is like if the weather ends up not being good. But fortunately, we had a backup plan because if I'm not mistaken, the way Sign does it, they double book. So like, let's say you have a party in the rooftop, then they'll book a space for you downstairs in case it does rain. You can still have your designated space for your event, which is super dope. We didn't need it, of course, because the weather ended up holding out. But there was that, and then I said When it comes to like events, this is one thing I didn't mention on any of the other episodes. It's rare that you get to throw an event and enjoy the event. Like a lot of times when you're throwing an event, like you have to be the one to make sure everything is good and all. And yeah, you can have a team. So am helping, but she was still working at Sign. So like, yeah, she helped with my event. She helped coordinate it, but like the day of, she also had other parties and stuff like that. And then I had Jada helping out with checkout, which definitely helped out a ton. But we had a ton of people that wanted to that got their tickets at the door that we didn't expect. And so I was just like busy trying to like make sure everyone's okay, make sure everyone's getting their tickets, make sure the food and stuff. Like it was definitely a lot, but great turnout. Everyone enjoyed the event. As long as the people in the event are happy, that's always a plus. And I had a couple of my boys that I haven't seen in a while, like my boy Isan, who I roomed with in college. He ended up pulling up to the event with someone else, and I remember he was like, "Yo, John, like, yo, I don't know who to talk to or something like that." I forget. I was like, "Yo, bro, I got you. Come here, boom." And I connected him with someone, and like that felt super good because going to networking events and being like usually the youngest person in the room or one of the youngest people in the room, it can be hard at times to break conversation, especially if like you're brand new to business or you may not have a business. It could be hard at times to just like break the ice with people who have no clue, about, nor do you know if you have anything in common with. And so that felt really dope. And then, as I said, towards the end, I got to actually start enjoying the event. Got to let loose a little bit, and we ended up hanging out to almost close again at this event. And that was for my birthday, so it ended up going all well. And that's pretty much it for this event. So I came out of pocket like $200. It was really just a cover up to get people to come together to celebrate my birthday, but I called it a networking event anyways, and ended up being a dope time. So that's all for this event. And the next one, I'm gonna talk to you guys about how I threw my first in-person workshop. That was a fun event, great turnout as well. So I'll tell you guys more details of that in the next episode.